And here Jesus says, you will always have the opportunity to minister to the poor, but you will not always have the opportunity to minister to me. And Mary recognized she had the opportunity to minister to Jesus Christ before his crucifixion. He's going to be crucified in 2 days. Mary understands, I've got this little 2-day window here before he goes to the cross and he dies, and she wants to minister to him. Yes, she could have sold the oil and given the money to help the poor, or she could use the oil to anoint Jesus, and she chose to use the oil to anoint Jesus, and Jesus commends her for this. And this is about priorities. Please hear me. This is about priorities. Helping those in need has its place, but the highest priority for the Christian is worshiping Jesus. The highest priority for the Christian is worshiping Jesus. Or to put it another way, and please tune in, don't miss this, ministering to Jesus is more important than ministering for Jesus. Ministering to Jesus is more important than ministering for Jesus. And some Christians have the opposite mindset. They have the mindset that it's more important to minister for Jesus than to minister to Jesus, and they're focused on what they do, and they're focused on serving and doing and doing and doing and doing instead of simply worshiping Jesus. And some Christians even get a little uncomfortable with just simply worshiping Jesus. They'd rather be busy. It's more comfortable. That's easier for me than just pouring myself out to Jesus and being, adoring him with extravagant love. That makes me a little uneasy. That's a little vulnerable. That's a little personal. And so I'd rather do and do and do and do instead of simply worshiping Jesus. And their priorities are out of order. Worshiping Jesus and pouring out your love and adoration to him is the greatest act any Christian can do. Worshiping Jesus and pouring out your love for him is the greatest act any Christian can do. And we see that principle played out in the life of Mary, the one who's anointing him here. And we see it played out in the story of Mary and Martha that is over in Luke chapter 10. If you want to turn there with me so we can look at it together. This is a story probably most of you are familiar with. Luke chapter 10. Verse 38. Verse 38, now it happened as they here is Jesus and his 12 disciples, as they went, that he entered a certain village, that would be Bethany, and a certain woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And so now she has Jesus in her house and his 12 disciples. She wasn't expecting them. They just showed up and she invited them into her house. Verse 39, and she had a sister called Mary, look what it says about Mary, who also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. So Mary sat at Jesus' feet and just listened to him talk and listened to him teach and just heard what he had to say. But Martha was distracted with much serving. She was distracted with much serving. The way you can keep Mary and Martha straight, when you think of Martha Stewart. She's just much serving. So she's cooking meals, she's putting together like the nice, place settings and everything, and the matching china and glasses and silverware, and she's doing the flower arrangements and the nice food and, making some kind of extravagant, elegant meal because Jesus is here and all of his disciples. But she's also stressed out because she's working so hard to serve. because Jesus showed up at her house. And I suspect some of you are stressed out because Jesus is coming next Sunday. Christmas is next Sunday. We're trying to get everything in order for Jesus to come. And you're barking at the kids. Jesus is coming. We got to get ready. Christmas is coming. Well, look what happens here. She's super distracted and stressed out. And she approached Jesus and said, verse 40, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Therefore, tell her to help me. And Jesus answered and said to her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen that good part, which will not be taken away from her. One thing is needed, Jesus said. One thing is necessary. There's one thing worthy of being concerned about. There's one thing that should be the top priority, and Mary has made that her choice. Mary chose the right thing. Mary chose to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to him instead of going crazy serving him. That's the greatest act you can do as a Christian. To sit at his feet and hear his words. That's more important than serving him. And certainly it's better than making yourself stressed out and crazy serving him.